Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? A different setting, a different setting for the vlog. Actually, you know what? I need to grab a pillow. Let me grab this long pillow so that I can relax and talk to you guys. I haven't done a bedroom vlog in a long time, but I just got back about 10 minutes ago from my massage, which was fantastic. And Alex went down he was like talking to this couple at the pool. We've met this couple. They're probably like, she told me how old she was. They're probably like 15 years older than me. Super, super nice. And, they come down here quite a bit. And so they were like, have you guys ever done the tequila tasting? And I was like, I don't drink. I've been sober for 30 years. I was explaining to them. And they were asking all these questions. And then they're like, well, it's really fun. And they were like, do you drink? To Alex. And he was drinking champagne. And so he's like, yeah. And they're like, you should go. We're going to go. So he went to the tequila tasting with them. And I was like, well, I'll vlog while you're doing that. So while I was getting my massage, he actually came back to the room early and took a shower and got dressed real nice to go to this like tequila tasting thing tonight. It's supposed to be like a half an hour and 40 minutes. So it's real short, but she said that they have like snacks and they have like fresh made guacamole and stuff like that. So he was real excited about that. So while he's doing that, I'm like moving back so I can be like front and center. You guys are on the table at the end of the bed right now. So I thought since he is gone, I will vlog inside today instead of outside on the patio. The water looks so pretty from here, but the beach was not pretty today at all. We could see from up here the seaweed was really, really bad today. And so we didn't even walk down there to see if we could sit down there today. Today we just like went straight to the pool. And the pool that we go to, the main pool was super, super busy and packed. And they had like a DJ there and stuff, which we can still hear the music from where we're at. But the pool we go to today, it was us, this couple that we met the other day, and the woman I was talking about books with and stuff. And then there was like another couple at the very end of the thing. For a while, there were these four people. It was like two couples that are traveling together. Well, it's actually two sisters and their husbands are traveling together. I talked to them today. They were super nice. They were, one couple lives in San Jose and the other couple lives in New Hampshire. And so I was talking to them for a long time today while I was in the pool. But anyway, it's been a great day. Alex and I actually, at one point, we walked down to the beach because I was like, I want to get in the water, even though we're not going to sit on the beach. We couldn't even get in the water. The seaweed was so bad. Usually, like I've shown you guys, there's like a place that you can go down and you can get in the water. But today, that part wasn't even clear. You couldn't even get in the water down there. It was like so like the sea. It's like really windy today, and they have like the red flags out on the beach and stuff like that. So we had sat at the pool most today. Like I said, we walked down to the beach. Alex wanted to take some pictures and stuff like that, and I wanted to try to get in the water, but we couldn't get in the water because it was so. The shirt is like one of those cropped shirts. It's the Whitney Houston one, but it's not really cropped. It actually like hangs lower than like where my zipper is on shorts. But it's like really baggy, and so it like pulls up easily. Anyway, yeah, so it was a good day. I'll tell you guys about that in a second. I just got back from my massage, which is why my hair is all like oily and stuff. I haven't taken a shower yet because I was like, I'm gonna vlog, and then I'm gonna go, and while it's rendering, I'm gonna go and get a sandwich for a little snack, and then when I come back, I'm gonna upload it, and then I'm gonna eat my sandwich, take a shower, and then take a nap, and then go to dinner tonight. Tonight we're having Italian. I don't even know the last time that I got a massage. It was so fantastic. Somebody had commented something on, I wish I had some chapstick right here. This is not the shirt that I wore today, but because I didn't want to bore you guys with the same shirt that I wore yesterday, so I wore the Sublime t-shirt again to the pool today, so it's sitting right here. But anyway, we keep the room so clean. Can I just show you? Let me just show you the room. So Alex unpacks everything, but you can see that like his suitcase is over there. And then my suitcases are over there lined up. And then my clothes are like, that I've worn the last 2 days are packed up over there. And then my computer and stuff is over there. And that's a chair. And then that's the outside patio out there. And yeah, so we always keep the room like super, super clean. Isn't that so funny? I don't know. I was talking to somebody. I don't know why I think that's funny, but I think that's funny. Anyway, I don't know when the last time I got a massage was. I don't think that when we were here for Alex's birthday last year. I think he got one. I don't remember if I got, maybe I did get one. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. The spa is beautiful here. The spa is absolutely beautiful here. And I was gonna go down and I was gonna do this like hydrotherapy stuff first, because they have like ice, they did this like ice, I feel like I'm like really high up in the vlog, but I guess it doesn't really matter, nobody really cares anyway. They have this like they have like a sauna, like the steam room. They have like you go in this one room and it's like super, super hot shower, and then they walk you through it. And they'll be like, okay, 3 minutes in here, I'm in a super hot shower, and then they like knock on the door and you come out. And then it's like 3 minutes like in a super ice cold shower. And then they have like an ice dunk tank that you're supposed to get into. I've done it before. I was gonna do it today. I was gonna do at least some of the hydrotherapy today. But my massage was at 3:30, and I was like sitting in the pool talking to this woman, and we were talking about books. I feel like that's all I ever talk about is books anymore. But we were talking about books, and when I got in, because I was like listening, I finished one book today and I started another audiobook. So she was asking me what I was reading and stuff, or listening to. And so when I got in the pool, I said, that was about the time that Alex left, and I said, I gotta get ready for my massage here in a second. I said, I really should be leaving right now. And it was at 3 o'clock. Well, I sat there and talked to her for a little bit. I thought it had been like 5 or 10 minutes. I went and I said, hold on a second, I want to check the time, and I looked, it was 3:23, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to get over there. I mean, the spa's like a 2-minute walk from there, but I was like, okay, I gotta get over there. So I walked in, and they give you like a locker, and it's like put on a robe and stuff like that, and you just like walk through. They have the men and the women separated, and then there's like a waiting area, and well, when you walk in, there's like a waiting area, and then in the back, there's like a men's side, and there's a women's side, and then there's like a joint, like kind of like waiting area in the back before you go to whatever, if you're getting a facial or a massage or whatever. There's actually an outside pool there. I mean, you have to wear a swimsuit, obviously, and stuff like that, but there's an outside swimsuit that's like, plays relaxing, or swimsuit. There's an outside pool that plays like relaxing music and all that kind of stuff. And then they have like tea, like all different kinds of spa waters, with like cucumbers and stuff in it, and like orange slices and all that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful spot. It's 2 stories. It's really, really nice. When I was in the locker room, there was like only one other guy with me. So when you go in the men's locker room, it's like the locker rooms are like right when you walk in. They're nice lockers too. They're like these bamboo lockers, and then you walk in, and like somebody, like, so they take you back like when you check in, and then somebody meets you in the locker room, and they give you like a locker with like a key, that you put on like your wrist and whatever. And then they're like, you can like change into like a robe and like have nothing underneath it, or you can wear a swimsuit. I had my swimsuit on today because I didn't know like if I was gonna like do like one like they have like this cold plunge pool, and they ask that, like you wear a swimsuit and stuff for that. So anyway, I kept my swimsuit on. They actually have sandals and like a really nice robe in there for you. And I was like, I had my plastic black Birkenstocks on. So I was like, can I just keep these on? And he was like, yeah. So then they walk you through, and then they take you out there and all this kind of stuff. And then the guy that did my massage today, he's actually done, I think every time I've had a massage here, he's done my massages. And he's like an older guy, and he's so good. Oh my God, I don't know the last time that I did not realize until he was like going over parts of my back. If you have massages, you'll know what I'm talking about. I did not realize like how tight I am until like he was going over parts of like I actually, because he said, is there any areas you want me to focus on? I said, my lower back's been hurting a little bit. I feel pretty good, but anyway. So when he was doing my upper back though, he could tell, like, when they like go into like the knots and stuff like that. Anyway, I was gonna say, somebody commented on the vlog, I don't know who it was, but they said something about they had never had a massage before. I don't know if it was in the same comment or if there was 2 different comments, but somebody said like, I've never had a massage before, and also, or somebody else said they don't like to get touched. Okay, I thought it was an interesting comment. Let me tell you why. I thought it was an honest comment, and I appreciate it, but that's totally how I felt before I ever got a massage. I can remember back in the day, my dad and my stepmom used to, like, every time they would go to a resort, would always get massages and stuff like that. My stepmom had gone to a massage therapist for years. I totally swore by it. And I was like, I don't know, I just always kind of felt like it was weird, you know? But I think that's kind of like because of things I'd maybe seen in movies or something like that. I don't know, you know, and you always kind of hear the weird stuff. And I think, like, Alex and I had been dating. I don't know if it was, like, the first year we dated or the second year we dated. But we had, like, okay, so we had, like, a friend of our friends all went to this one guy that was a massage therapist. And, like, our family, people we knew, like, all went to this one guy and, like, swore by him. And so Alex got me, like, a massage for, I think it was, like, Valentine's Day or my birthday or something. I have no idea. I mean, it was, we've been together 17 years. We were telling somebody that at the pool today. They're like, you guys have been together for 17 years? They're like, it was, like, this older couple, and it was, like, their second marriage. And they were like, we've been together 10 years. We think that's a long time. They're like, you've been, like, you've been together almost twice as long as we have. I'm like, I know, people always were surprised that we've been together that long. But anyway, I don't know which, I think it was, like, the first year. It was, like, I don't know, Valentine's Day or whatever. He got me a massage. And I was so weird about it. I was like, I don't like to be, I mean, I like, you know, I'm a hugger and stuff like that. But I'm so socially awkward anyway. Like, I think, like, meetings have opened me up to being a hugger because at meetings people hug. I mean, people always, like, at meetings are very respectful and will be like, can I hug you and things like that, or can I give you a hug? I mean, they ask. They don't just, like, you know, because a lot of people obviously have issues and don't want to be hugged or don't want to be touched and stuff like that. So in meetings, people are always respectful of it. But I think, like, that's made me more, I don't know, open to it. My mom was a hugger too. I don't know why I feel like I have to explain myself on this. I'm just kind of a hugger. It's like something I don't have an issue with. But when I don't know somebody, for somebody to, like, I feel like older men do this to me a lot. Like, they'll put their hand on my shoulder and just kind of, like, squeeze it. Like, hey, buddy, how are you doing? I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. It feels very condescending to me. But other than that, like, I don't know, I had some weird feeling about, like, this massage, and I can remember asking Alex, like, all these questions, like, do I have to be nude? Do I have to be naked? He's like, well, they'll prefer that because they'll put, like, sheets over you, or he'll put sheets over you. Alex had gone to this guy before, and he was like, he'll go, like, you know, he'll put sheets over you and stuff like that. And I was like, I can't wear my underwear. And he's like, I mean, you can wear your underwear. He was like, but nobody does. And I was like, okay. And I remember asking, like, two of my, like, girlfriends that also went to this guy, and I was like, I said, can I wear my underwear? And they're like, and I said something to Tanya too, because Tanya gets a lot of massages from a lot of different places. I mean, she has, like, packages to places and stuff like that, you know? And she's like, you don't wear your underwear. And I was like, what do you mean you don't wear your underwear, you know? I never had one before, you know? And I'm thinking I'm just going to lay out there. She's like, you're not nude out there, you know? Who were we just talking to recently? And maybe it was Tanya. That somewhere they went, I can't remember where it was, but she wasn't, like, they had a sheet over her. I think it was, like, on a beach or something like that. It was like, maybe it was the last time Tanya came to Mexico. I don't know. But somebody was telling us a funny story about how they weren't exposed, but they felt exposed because they were, like, on a beach, you know? Like, but anyway. But Tanya was like, you don't want to wear your underwear. I was like, why not? And I was like, she's like, they're not going to go there anyway. She was like, but it's just more relaxing. It's more comfortable anyway. I think the first time I did wear my underwear, I think I might have. I don't know. But anyway, to anybody out there that hasn't had one or has wondered or whatever, well, you know what? Tanya and I had actually for years and years and years went and got, like, the foot massages, you know, where, like, you leave your clothes on and they do, like, a massage over your clothes and stuff like that. But it's, like, it's called a foot massage. It's like $40 or $20. Tanya and I had gotten those for years. But that was, like, my first, like, full-on massage. And it's, like, there's, like, white cap, like, waves out there, like, way out there. It's, like, really choppy today. Alex, I was saying to him the other night, or the other day, I said, it's interesting we don't ever see any boats come by here. Like, we don't see sailboats or, like, yachts and stuff like that. He's like, we've seen cruise ships in the distance. I'm like, at night, way out there, you might see one, like, the lights. He's like, yeah, you see boats. I was like, when have we ever seen just, like, you know, like a little whaler or, like, a yacht during the day? He's like, I think we saw a catamaran one time. I was like, oh, did one catamaran one time? We never see boats out here. But anyway, I'm just sharing this for anybody that's never had a massage before that has been thinking about it. First of all, massages are expensive. I will say that. if you're gonna get it and you're gonna try it once and you're weary about it, I would not try it like at a hotel or a resort, because they're always so much more expensive at a resort. Like, I think here, they're like, it's ridiculous. Alex got us some special rate, but they're like usually, I think it was like 111, but they're usually like 110, or I think it was 111. But they're usually like, my friend, okay, so for our wedding, my friend got, did she get Alex and I each, or did she just get me one? I can't remember. But it was like I think it was like 500 or something. It was ridiculous. And that's like 13 years ago. In Indianapolis, they're not that expensive. This guy that I started with, who I ended up going to for years and years and years, he was $100 for 90 minutes. And it was like, I mean, you tip on top of that. I think I tipped like $40 every time. So it was like $140 for 90 minutes, which is really good if you get massages. I mean, $100 for 90 minutes is an hour and a half, you know? But anyway, I have never, I mean, I'm not going to say I've never heard stories from like people that are like, I don't really want to say the word, but you know what I'm talking about, where like guys go to like special places and, you know what I'm saying, like, and weird stuff happens. I have never experienced that. I've never been approached by that. But I've always, I think that's something that's kind of like maybe at like not legit places. I guess I don't judge anybody if that's what you want. I've never encountered that ever. And I've had a lot of massages. I've never encountered anybody asking me that. It's just kind of like in White Lotus, they were talking about it because the guy goes to get a massage. That Patrick Schwarzenegger, he gets a massage and he says something about no, like, you know, the ending part of it. And I think it's interesting because, like, I mean, I've heard stories from, like, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 times from like guys, it'll be like, oh, like they were traveling somewhere, and I'm like, I've never experienced that. Alex has never, we've talked about it, he's never experienced that. Most of my friends have never experienced that. I don't think I've ever had like a close friend that's ever had anything like, oh, is he back already? Are you back from the tequila tasting already? Hello?
Hello?
Are you back from the tequila tasting already?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it?
It was good.
Well, let me get off here and I will move outside so he can relax in here. Well, I'm gonna have to wait for the camera to, like warm up. So I will be back in probably like 5 and 5. Bye. Okay, I'm back. I didn't even have to leave the camera out here at all. I like moved it out here and then I was like, oh, I forgot the ice bucket to put it on. And then I came back out here and I turned it on so like the lens can get like unfogged. And I came back out here and I was like, it's not even foggy outside. It's like, it actually doesn't feel super humid out. The weather is kind of weird today. I've been thinking about, while I've been down here, I've been thinking about my, here's another one of my ideas that will never come to fruition. So you know I want to write a cozy mystery series. I have like 3 outlined and I have 1 started, okay? They all take place in the HOA. Then I have a zombie book outlined that I want to write. And now, because anything I'm doing is like what I want to do at that moment. I'm an ideas guy. I always have 1,000 ideas. But since I'm reading all these post-apocalyptic books, I now want to write a post-apocalyptic book series. I was saying to one of my friends the other day, I said, if I write it and put it out, should I put it underneath a pseudonym or should I put it underneath my name? And they're like, well, you would probably sell more if you put it underneath your name. I'm like, I don't think that anybody watches my videos and would read a post-apocalyptic series, but I have a really good idea for one, because they're all kind of the same idea, but I have a really good idea for one that I came up with. So anyway, the massage thing, I was gonna say, for anybody that's thinking about it, like, first of all, they're expensive. So if you're gonna do it, like, maybe do in your area first. Like, I have a lot of friends of mine that go to those, what's the one in Indianapolis? I think it's called like, there's like Massage Envy, there's like Woodhouse. There are like places where you can like buy packages. I think Caroline does at Woodhouse maybe, or I can't remember, but like where you buy like, you can buy like 5 or 10 massages and then you can go like once a week or once every, you know, you buy a package and then you can like, you get them cheaper if you buy a package and then you can like book them whenever you want. I would probably like maybe ask one for like a holiday or, you know, like a birthday or something like that first. If you're gonna try one, I would try one at home first before you come to a resort, because they're so expensive at resorts. And I really, to be honest with you, I don't think they're any different. Today's was really, really good, but like I hadn't had one in a while. So, that's the first thing I wanted to say. Second of all, I've never had like any weird incidents happen. And the reason I'm saying that is, and like, I'm only sharing my experience, so I can't tell you that if you went. I think if you go, okay, the thing is this, is that, I mean, massage therapists have to go to school. There's a training for it. It's a very legit field, right? Like, I think to some degree, it gets kind of like this ooh la la, kind of like, you know what I mean? But like, people that get massages a lot, like when I used to get them every week, as part of my taking care of myself thing. When it's very much a part of like, I mean, it's seen as like medical for a lot of people and stuff like that. So there's nothing weird about it. And I can tell you that I think that most massage therapists would actually be offended if you, like, they would say that's a part of us that, like, I think that's just like such a small segment that gets a bad reputation, if that makes sense. I've never gone to anybody that's ever made me feel uncomfortable, that's ever been inappropriate anyway. They are so, to be honest with you, they're almost the opposite. They're almost like so careful to constantly cover you up. Like today when I went in there. So you have your robe on, and like he came in and he showed me the bed, and he was like, I want you to lay like face, they have like the face thing with towels all over it. And he was like, I want you to lay face down on the bed. And he was like, and then cover yourself up, because there's like a sheet on the bed. So it's like, it looks like a hospital kind of like bed. It's like a massage table. And then there's a sheet over it, and then there's a sheet on top of it. So then he leaves the room, and then I change, and then, it's almost the same every single time I've had a massage. Then they wait like 3 or 4 minutes, and then they knock, and they're like, they'll open the door just a crack, and they'll say, are you ready? And I'm like, yeah, and that means you're underneath the sheet. And then they come in, and then they usually put something heavy over you, like over this part of you, like from down here, so it's never inappropriate. I mean, it's never, like, they are so careful to move you, like with my arms, like they would like move my arm this way, and then they would pull the sheet up. Like, they're very, very careful to keep you covered, like, the entire time. Like, I'm a very private person about stuff like that. I don't know that I am necessarily so much about massage therapists, because I just don't care anymore. I think that's part of getting older too, is I just don't care anymore. But like when I first started, I can remember thinking like, I was like, you know, whatever. I could give it, I mean, they have made me always feel so comfortable, and it's always it's very, I mean, it's so relaxed. They play music, like today they played music. It was, what did it remind me of? It reminded me of something. But it was so relaxing. And they ask you like what oils you want to put in the room, or what oils they want on you, like what scent usually. Like he had like 3 scents he asked me to use, and one was like lavender, it was called Dreams. The other one was like citrusy. I went with the lavender one. But anyway, it's very, very professional. So, and I'm not saying this like because that one person asked, but I just thought if one person asked and other people, because I used to be out there and I'd be like, I don't want to get a massage because I'm gonna feel so weird, and like, you don't even have to take off your clothes if you want to. You can fully wear your underwear if you want to, or a swimsuit or whatever. You know, no, they're not gonna laugh at you. They're not gonna make fun of you. I mean, I'm sure they even, you know, get people that do that. But yeah, I mean, it's very professional. My experience, like I said, I can only speak to my experience. And I am sure when I say this, there will be somebody out there that's like, well, I had a weird experience. I'm sure that there are weird experiences that happen. I'm just saying I've never had that happen. My husband's never had that happen. The majority of my girlfriends, I can't think of one girlfriend of mine, and my cousin Caroline goes and gets regular massages. Tanya gets regular massages. I've never heard one person say, like, oh, I had a really inappropriate situation. So, and most of the massage therapists that I've met, like, I mean, he sat me down before, like, when we went in the room, and he was like, what areas do you want me, you know, like, to focus on? I was like, my lower back kind of hurts a little bit. I feel, like I said, I feel pretty good. And then he was like, do you have any, like, medical issues? And I told him I had epilepsy. I said, I have a scar in my head, because they always kind of, like, they kind of feel it, and then they're like, they get kind of a little bit, like, what's going on? I said, I have a scar. I said, just so that you know, and they do like kind of like a little evaluation. It's very professional. Like I said, so the only reason I'm saying it is because if anybody's out there thinking about it, I mean, definitely, obviously, not because of me, feel like, oh, I have to go do it now. But if it's something that you've thought about, what I would do is, like, if you wanted to do it, maybe put up on Facebook. Does anybody know like a really great professional massage therapist in the area? Or ask one of your friends or something, and try that. Or try one of those places like Massage Envy and stuff like that. Because I think that those places are all probably, I mean, if you don't know where to go. Or spas. Like a spa is obviously going to be on the up and up and have like legit. And I think like in the United States, I think massage therapists have to, you have to have a certification. I think you have to, like, most of them have to go through, I mean, every massage therapist I've ever gone to in the United States has gone through school and stuff like that. So the guy that I started with back in the day, I went to him for years and years and years. I think I was trying to think about it when I was walking back here today. I was like, was I vlogging when I was still seeing him? Because the reason I stopped was, it was about 6 months before the lockdown, and I had gone, and he was, I mean, this guy was booked so full, like all the time was booked full. And so I remember he had to, like, change my days or something, and for some reason it wouldn't work on the day that he wanted to change me to, and so I was like, well, I'll call you back in like a month. And then I went in, like, and then I called him like a month, and then, because at that point I was going in every Monday for an hour and a half massage. I felt like that was the way that, like, I could, you know, I don't drink, blah, 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 whatever. I was like, this is my one self-care that I can do. And so I was getting a massage I think it was every Monday. And, yeah, I can still see his office and stuff in my head. Actually, like, Caroline and I drive by there when we do errands all the time. I think he's still there. So then, like, I called him in a month, and he was having a really hard time getting me in, but he got me in, and I went, and he was like, it's gonna be really hard unless you're gonna, like, put on the book that you're gonna regularly start coming again. We're gonna have to figure out a day for you to do it. And I was like, I can't remember, something was going on at that time. I think it was doing, like, some volunteer work, or I was sitting on some board or something that, like, was, this is why I can't figure out, like, if it was when I was vlogging or not. I'm sure somebody out there will be like, yeah, you were getting massages when you started vlogging, because I must have been, because what happened was, then the lockdown happened, and then after the lockdown, I wanted to go back and start getting massages, and so when he opened his, because he was closed during all that, and when I called him to get an appointment, he's like, I'm booked like 4 months out, and he's like, do you want me to put you something down for 4 months? I was like, at that point, I was just like, I think we texted, and I was like, no, don't worry about it. And I thought, I'll just find somebody else out. I actually think I put something out, like, on Facebook. It was like, does anybody have, like, a great massage therapist? And people, like, recommended places like Massage Envy and stuff like that. I was like, well, I want to go to somebody that people know. Like, I don't want to just, like, you know, at that point. Now, today I would do that, because Caroline loves, like, she's got, like, people that she loves going to and stuff like that. But, yeah, I don't know. But I just wanted to share that, because I was really apprehensive about going the first time too, and I was really weird about, like, I don't think I was weird about, like, did I think something weird was gonna happen? That wasn't what I was weird about. I was weird about, like, what if I, like, reacted weird about being touched or something? Like, would it be weird? Like, could I get out, you know? And I can remember, like, the first time I went, I said to him, I'm very nervous about this. I've never done this before. And he goes, if you get uncomfortable and you want to stop, he goes, just tell me, we'll stop. And he was very nice about the whole thing. And so, and I can remember, like, through the first session too, he was like, I don't fall, like, Alex just asked me, he's like, did you fall asleep? I said, almost at the end. Alex always falls asleep during his massages. But I think, like, the first couple times I went to the other guy, he would ask me, like, throughout the session, he'd be like, are you okay? Like, are you doing okay? So, but for anybody out there that's thinking about it, I will tell you this. I mean, now it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know that I want to spend that kind of money every week for it, but I would do, like, a package. Like, I have to talk to Caroline about her package and Tanya. Tanya and Caroline go to 2 different places, and I'll have to ask them what they do. But Tanya and her husband has one too, so they'll go, like, I'll be like, what did you do tonight? She'll be like, we went and got massages, and then we went out, like, a steak dinner. That's like a good date night for Tanya and her husband. But I just wish I wasn't, like, I think the reason why I'm sharing it is because the comment, like, so resonated with me, because that's how I felt before I did it, and I wish I hadn't waited so long to do it. And that being said, I just want to say, we all have our personal issues. It's not to say that, like, if you go into it, you might feel uncomfortable. I think we all know, like, what our boundaries and our spaces are, and probably massages are not for everybody, you know, but, like, I definitely have friends of mine that, for obvious, well, maybe not obvious, but various reasons, don't like people touching them, especially people they don't know, and I would definitely probably not recommend a massage to them. I think it would make them too uncomfortable, you know? But I'm just saying, for anybody out there that's like, I thought about it, I'm not uncomfortable with that, but I want to have one, I just wanted to put that out there for you. And that's just my experience. I mean, you might talk to somebody else and they'll be like, no, every experience I've had has been bad. But I've probably in my life, at this point, I was going once a week. I don't even know how many massages I've had. I've never once had a weird or inappropriate. They've always been 100% professional. To the point where it's almost like, I feel like I'm wadded up in towels and sheets are this way. It's like, even when you turn, like today when I turned, he like held the sheet up this way and he goes, can you turn over onto your back? And so he holds it up like this and you turn over and he's like, are you done? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, then he lays the sheet up. They don't look at anything. So they're very, very professional about it. There was another guy that Alex and I went to for a while, and he was like exactly the same way. They like tuck the sheet underneath here and then they'll like move it. Like if they're gonna move it, they'll ask you, or they put it over your head and they're like, are you comfortable? Cause a lot of people don't like things over their face and stuff like that. So they'll ask you about all of it. That guy was like really, really it was almost like down to, they must teach them how to do all that, like how to fold the towels and the sheet. It's mostly sheets, but, and then they usually like lay this like heavy, like warm towel thing down on you first. But anyway, so my massage was fantastic today. I feel very, very relaxed, which is why I was going to say this vlog is not going to be that long, but I think I'm about 30 minutes right now, because I think it was at 17 minutes when I stopped, and now I'm at 13 minutes and 33 seconds. So Alex said he's going to walk over there. That was the world's shortest tequila tasting in the entire world. But he said he's going to walk over there and get a sandwich with me. I was like, do they have snacks? He was like, no. I said, what about the guacamole? He goes, I know, right? And then he was like, I said, because he looks really nice. He's got his shirt on that he wore to, I think he wore that to dinner last night. It's like this short sleeve blue shirt with like this, like crocheted or knitted, you say knitted? I don't know what the word is. Pocket, and then light blue shorts. And I said, oh, are you dressed, are we supposed to do the couples video today? He goes, no, we said we were going to do it tomorrow. And I said, oh, okay, so we're going to do the couples video, I guess, tomorrow. But anyway, I didn't remember when we said we're going to do it. He's got all these questions he wants to do. I told you guys about this. He bought me the questions, and he looked up questions that, so he bought me like 4 boxes of these questions, like they're like to have more intimate conversations with your partner or a friend and stuff like that. Apparently, he saw that people on TikTok are doing these questions, so he pulled the 10 questions off of TikTok. So this was all his idea, so that's what we're doing for the Q&A. So that'll be tomorrow. Unless something happens, we stay on the pool too long or whatever, then maybe the next day or the next day. Anyway, yeah. So let's rewind. Last night, he's trying to be so careful with his shirt while he's laying on the bed. He's like, I said, are you going to take a nap or anything? I know he's not going to wear that to dinner tonight because he's got his outfit already laid out for dinner. There's always a plan for dinner. Tonight we're doing the Italian restaurant. So last night, I got done vlogging. I don't remember what I did after I got done vlogging. Did I get a sandwich before or after? Well, whatever I did, I think I got a sandwich after. The sandwich that I got, so they have like 3 or 4 vegan sandwiches here. Some of them are supposed to be cold, but they just make all of them like hot paninis. Alex asked me, he was like, have you opened that panini maker that you got? I bought a panini maker like 2 years ago. Do you guys remember that? It's in a box in the kitchen. Still, it's like up against the refrigerator. I go, no. He goes, are you gonna ever open that panini maker? I go, yeah, this summer I'm making paninis like crazy. Don't even worry about it. I'm my own person, like Boo Bradley used to say. Don't even worry about it. So I got sidetracked thinking about dog stuff for a second. This trip we've talked a lot about the dogs, how much we miss them and stuff like that. We got to figure out like the rest of our trips for this year when we get back, because I'm ready to get a dog. I'm absolutely ready to get a dog. And I said something to Caroline about it, and Tanya, and Caroline was like, if you get a dog and you go on vacation, she was like, I can take care of it, or Tanya can take care of it. She's like, that's not a reason not to get a dog. And I was like, but I don't want to get a dog and then go right on vacation next week. She's like, well, no, obviously not. But if you get a dog and a month later you go out of town for, a couple days or a week, she's like, everybody does it. I was like, yeah. She's like, there's not going to be any great time to get a dog. And I said, so why are you saying this? And she said, because I feel like a lot of great dogs have come up for you to adopt. And she's like, you've turned it down because, I don't know, I feel like I'm maybe kind of at this point using like the trips as an excuse. I'm ready to get a dog. I'm really ready to get a dog. Alex is like, get as many dogs as you want. I'd love to get a bonded pair like Boo and Tucker again, but anyway, it was interesting because I post, you know, I post a lot of like, there's one rescue that I follow on Instagram. I think it's called like Vintage Pet Rescue or Senior Rescue Dogs. I don't know what it is, but I post a lot of them. And I posted this picture of this dog the other day. I'm not going to probably fly somewhere to get a rescue dog. You know, I'm not going to probably be going to like, I think the dog actually, speaking of these people from New Hampshire, wasn't New Hampshire. It was New Hampshire or I don't know, South Carolina or something like that. But it was this cute little dog, and this dog's name was, he was like, I don't know, he was like 8 weeks old or something. He was like a little terrier, and he had like this, it was like a Schnauzer mixed terrier or something, but his name was Frank. And I posted his picture, like, just because I post rescue dogs all the time, but this one organization that I post, it's a lot of dogs that are adoptable right now. So I posted this picture of this, even if I have my phone, phone's in there, but even if I have my phone, it'd be too hard to find. So I posted this picture of this dog, Frank. I cannot even tell you how many DMs I got. I mean, probably 20 DMs from people that are like, oh my God, is this a dog that you're gonna adopt? It was like, no, I'm not going to like New Hampshire or South Carolina to adopt a dog. But Alex actually, one of his coworkers, they found a dog, like a stray, on the side of the road. And the dog is like, they took her to the vet, and they think it's between like 3 and 5 years old. She's adorable. Well, she was pregnant when they found her. And I can't remember when they found her, but anyway, she just had these puppies. And so they're just like, they're not selling the puppies or anything, they're just like giving them away. And they're keeping the stray that they found. They literally found her on the side of the road. Nobody claimed her. She's not microchipped or anything like that. They think, the vet thinks somebody just left her on the side of the road. I mean, she was like matted and she needed like a lot of grooming and stuff like that. And she was pregnant too. And so the vet said that a lot of people, when their dogs get pregnant, if they can't afford them or they, you know, whatever, then they, like, if they just get pregnant like in the neighborhood or whatever, if they're outside dogs. So anyway, so they're just like giving these puppies away, like they're not selling them or anything like that. And I was like, oh, but no, I don't think I'm ready. I feel like also, for anybody out there that's not like a religious or a spiritual person, just ignore this part, but I've been praying on it a lot. I've been praying like, God, put the dog in my life that I'm supposed to have, you know? Alex is kind of like taking like a backseat to this a little bit. We haven't, like, I don't know how much I've talked about this on the vlog, but like, he's like, get as many dogs as you want. He was like, and I'll fall in love with them and whatever, but he's like, you're taking the lead on this. So, I don't know. I'm really thinking at this point, I mean, I would love to have like 5 dogs, but realistically, no. I think 2, but I think what I want to do is I think I want to adopt a dog and then like a year or 2 later adopt another one. So they're close like in age, you know? The other thing that's weird is, people have been sending me rescues that are like, I always wanted to rescue like a puppy, but people have been sending rescues to me that are like 3 to 5 years old, and I've kind of like been thinking it through. I'm kind of like, because I think like, well, Caroline rescued Mabel and she was 5. I go back and forth all the time. I just feel like, this is what I think. I cannot tell you how often, I'm not talking about online, I'm talking about people in my real life, like rescue dogs in Indianapolis. I can't tell you how, like I used to think forever I wanted to rescue a Chihuahua because of PP. I don't know, I mean, if a Chihuahua came along and I thought this is the dog I'm supposed to be with, I do feel like rescues pick their owners or come into your life at a certain time. If a Chihuahua came along that I felt like, well, I used to think I wanted like a black Chihuahua just like PP. I wouldn't do that to Alex. I think that emotionally would be too tough. But like if a Chihuahua came along that I thought was like supposed to be part of our family, I would definitely adopt a Chihuahua. But I really kind of want like, I really want kind of like a, you know, just a funny looking, kind of like, you know, Boo Radley was kind of fuzzy and funny looking but cute at the same time. That's what I want, you know, lots of personality, but you don't really know when they're, you know, they're puppies either. I don't know. I was saying late summer, early fall, and I feel like it's going to be earlier than that. I don't know, but like this is what I was going to say. Not online, but like, well, online too, people do send me, rescue dogs, but they're always like so far away. But in my personal life, I feel like at least twice a week, somebody that, because they know that I'm like wanting to adopt a dog, they'll send me like a dog they've seen, and I'm like, I wouldn't say it's like every dog, because every dog, it's like, they'll send me anything from like big dogs to little dogs to older dogs to puppies to whatever, but it's usually the ones where they'll be like, they're looking for like a home where somebody's like home a lot, like, or a lot of little dogs, they're like, they have experience with little dogs because we have experience with little dogs, or things like that, or there's no kids in the home and things like that. People will send me those. I don't know. Yeah, but so I posted this dog named Frank, the little Schnauzer mix, and I got like 20 DMs from people that were like, is this the dog you're adopting? I was like, I mean, he was cute. I would have adopted him, but he lives in like North Carolina. And then like one person, I think it was like the first person that DM'd me, said I don't even know where the dog was. I don't even remember now. But like, let's say if it was like, I don't know, like New York or something. Whoever, it was like the state next to him. They were like, I live in New Jersey. I'll pick up the dog and I'll drive it to you. And I was like, what? Like, so sweet, but thank you. No, I was like, no, I'm not getting this dog. But yeah, I mean, Tony and Caroline are always like, just find a dog wherever. We'll just like, we'll road trip it there and get it. I'm like, no, I'm not ready yet. Everybody thinks it would be really good for me to get a dog. Everybody in my personal life. There was a period where I really felt like I was grieving that I didn't want to just get a dog to replace a dog. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I've had a lot of friends of mine that have done that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I felt like I really needed to go through what I was going through. I feel like I'm on the other side of that now. I miss Boo like crazy. Tucker and Pee-Pee, obviously I miss them too, but it's been longer. I miss the three of them so much. But it's time for like a new season, and I think I'm prepared. I think he's prepared. I think we talk about it all the time. So I mean, it's a constant conversation of piece that we have. So I don't know. I don't know how that'll look. I don't know how I would even do it. Like, I probably will just be like one day like, oh, here's, I don't know. I have names picked out. I will say that. They're probably not names that people would decide. Does anybody have a suggestion for a dog name? It has to be really unique, not something that everybody else has, and something kind of funny. I come up with names all the time. So we have like, I would like Stevie Nicks for a dog. But and I would name like a boy dog Stevie, but we have a friend of ours that had a dog named Stevie. I always said I would name a dog named Scout, but now I've met about 6 people who've had a dog named Scout. Plus, Scout's kind of like a girl dog name because of Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird, although I know a lot of people that have boy dogs named Scout. Tanya got a dog named Scout before. That's why we ended up calling Boo Radley Boo Radley. There's a lot of names I think of that then I think, oh, like the other night I was thinking of the name, I thought Sid for a dog, like Sid Vicious, would be really cute for a dog. But my friend from high school, she is like, we have the same birthday and she's a year younger than me. She's like my best friend in high school. And she lives in Portland. And for years and 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 years, she had this huge like Newfoundland whose name was Sid. And I just think if I have a dog named Sid, every time I'll think of her dog. I'll just think of that dog, So, I don't know. Like, I've got a list of probably like 10 names. I think like once I see the dog, then I'll know. I also, this is the other thing, like, if I got a puppy that already had a name, I would probably like, whenever I say this to people, people are like, why would you not rename a dog? If it was a puppy that was like 6 or 8 weeks old, I would rename it because they're not stuck to that name. But if it was a dog that was like 3 to 5 years old, I wouldn't like change their name. They know that name. I wouldn't change it. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, last night I got the sandwich that I got from the sandwich shop was, okay, can I just tell you on Ghosts, if you've watched Ghosts, I don't want to ruin this. Me saying this will not ruin it for anybody. But if you've watched Ghost, the U.S. version, on the 3rd season, when for the wedding, I won't even say whose wedding it is. The bachelor party is like the most hilarious episode ever. I'm like, that's all I'll say. The clicking, oh my god, that scene, I was like laughing so hard. So the sandwich that I got yesterday was like, okay, I know this is gonna sound disgusting, but it was so delicious. Okay, it was like, it was like Chipotle mayonnaise, mushrooms, vegan cheese, whole wheat bread, red hot peppers or red peppers, and then pineapple, which I love. Okay, even on pizza, I know people go crazy when I say that, but I love pineapple. On pizza, I get, if I can, I get pineapple and onion. You know what? Have I had pizza? I think I had a piece of Alex's pizza, but I haven't had a pizza. I get pineapple and I get onion on pizza. It's like my favorite pizza. But I got this sandwich yesterday. It was so good. And then I also got a bag of the donuts, the new kind of donuts they have, and some other things and some cookies. So, ate that last night, took a nap. And then got up and we went to the steakhouse again. And I had almost the exact same thing. We had the same server and everything. She's so nice. And so after that, so there were 2 weddings here last night and 2 events. I didn't realize why the pool was so packed yesterday. Well, not the pool we go to, but the other pool. And so the server told us that there were 2 weddings and there were 2 wedding receptions. One of the weddings had 200 people at it. And then there were 2 events. There were you know when companies award people a trip or whatever, those kind of events. So Alex wanted to go and have a glass of wine. Oh, this huge bird just swooped down. Wanted to have a glass of wine in the bar last night. And I was like, I just want to go to the room and read and whatever. I was like, okay, we'll go for 1 glass of wine. I'll have a cup of coffee. I took a cup of coffee from there and we went over there. We sat outside. They were playing the worst kind of wedding music ever. And there were probably on that patio where there's probably never more than 10, 15 people. There was probably 80 people out there. And we were over in this corner. And everybody knew each other because they were all from the wedding. And the reason I know that is, okay, you know okay, so for those of you that do not know where Happy Birthday Lena, that I say sometimes at the end of the video, comes from, I feel like I've shared this so many times, but I'm going to share it again. We were at Jason and Melissa's 50th birthday party in Las Vegas. And I was in the pool. It was the end of one of the days that we were at the pool at the Encore. And this couple had... the couple had the hats on, now I don't remember. But anyway, there was this couple in the pool. It was me and them in the pool. And there was this woman, and she was on this cabana, and they had all these red and white trucker hats that said Happy Birthday Lena on them. I don't even remember the whole story now. But anyway, so it's Lena, Laina. And so this woman kept on saying to the woman in the pool, she was drunk and making out with this guy, probably her husband or something. They were our age. And so she was like, Lena. And I looked at her and I go, are you Lena? And she goes, yeah. And I go, happy birthday, Lena. Anyway, so because I'd seen the hat. So when I was getting out, I was telling this woman, I said something, I can't remember how it went, but maybe it was when I was getting in, but I think it was when I was getting out. I said, it's our friend's birthday too. And I said, I wish I would have thought of trucker hats. That's such a great idea. So that's why Alex had trucker hats for his birthday. Well, he didn't. I got a trucker hat. The rest of them got dad caps. But anyway, with different sayings on it. And so she was like, do you want one? And I was like, oh my God, yeah. So that night, when I came back to the hotel room and I vlogged, I wore the Happy Birthday Lena hat. So that was how the whole Happy Birthday Lena thing started. Well, last night, after this wedding, it seemed like half the people changed and half the people still had on their wedding outfits. But a lot of them had on these black and white trucker hats that said the bride and groom's name on it. So it was just, you could tell because people would be they talk to a group, then they go over and talk to somebody else. So it was this big group of people. I looked at Alex, I said, he goes, you're wanting to go back to the room, aren't you? I go, I just kind of feel like we're at a private party that we crashed, we weren't invited to. He goes, well, it's not like they rented this space out. He's like, this is for everybody. I go, I know, but I just feel real uncomfortable. He was like, okay. So we went back to the room, we came back, and Alex was super tired, so he went to bed. At this point, it was probably 11:30 or something like that, so he went to bed right away. I talked to, earlier in the evening, I talked to Tanya, and then I talked to Nikki last night. Nikki was reading the Life as We Know It, the second book, which I actually told this woman at the pool today about. And she was like putting in her notes app. She was like, what's the author? I was like, Susan Beth Pfeffer. I said, it's kind of corny writing. Nikki doesn't think it's corny writing, but I was like, it's kind of corny writing, but I'm obsessed with them. So anyway, so when I was talking to Nikki last night, I was like, she was watching, what was the show she said? It's one of those cop shows. She said she had 6 episodes she didn't realize that she had to catch up on. Well, I can't remember what it's called. Something 911 or one of those shows. But anyway, she's like, but I want to read too. And I said, well, because I was like, I had like an hour and 20 minutes left of Broken Country, that book. And I was like, well, I want to listen to my book, but I want to read, but I also want to watch a show. So Alex was asleep, and I had so much fun reading in bed the night before. So I got in bed, and I literally, so I read like 40 plus pages the night before of the third book in the Life as We Know It series. Last night I read like 80 pages. I laid in bed, and like halfway through, they talk so much about food in the book. I started like, I got my bag out, and I'm like in bed. I have like a what do you call it, a washcloth down so none of the crumbs will get on it. And I'm like eating these donuts at like 1:30 in the morning. It was so fun though. It was so fun. So anyway, so yeah, so I read until like, I think it was like 2 o'clock, I think it was like 2:30 when I got done reading. I'm now like halfway through that book, so I may finish it. But anyway, and then I went to bed, because I told Alex, I said, maybe it was earlier than that? I don't know, I don't think it was. But I said I wanted to get up, and I wanted to be at the pool early today. So I actually did get up, not like early for me. I was out, he left, and I told him, I said, I'm changing right now, and I left like literally like 5 minutes after he did. And, I think he went and got a coffee first, because he was like, I'm gonna go down and get a coffee. I said, okay, I'll meet you at the pool. Then I dropped my stuff off, and I went and got an iced coffee. Because he was like, I'll get you something. I was like, no, I want to like, whatever. So anyway, so, we were down at the pool today by like, I think like 11:15 or something like that. I was kind of surprised. I wanted to get down there early because I had to leave today at like, well, I was going to leave at 3, but I ended up leaving at like 3:25. I got out of the pool like, what, 3:23 was when I was like, oh my god, it's 3:23. But anyway, so we were at the pool all day today. It was empty. We were just talking to the other couples. It was really nice today. I got onion rings. Tanya said to me yesterday, because you always get stuck on one thing when you're on vacation and you eat it all. I said, it's so true. But, so I got the onion rings. Alex actually did not get a steak last night. He got the fettuccine because he saw my fettuccine the other day. He was like, that fettuccine looks so good. So he got the fettuccine last night. And then tonight we're going to the Italian restaurant, which I'm really, really excited about. Yeah, and then I'll probably come back and read. And if the bar is not that packed tonight, we'll go to the bar. And then tomorrow, we're hoping that the beach is a little bit nicer tomorrow so we can go to the beach. But if not, we'll go to the pool. We're trying to get to the pool early tomorrow, and then we will, I don't know where we're eating tomorrow, but I'll let you guys know tomorrow. And then we're going to do our couples video, and just relaxing. Oh, book-wise, so I finished Broken Country. I actually put it on my Instagram today. I said, pick a thriller, or I said, what's a thriller that you absolutely cannot put down? Now I wish I had my phone, because people recommended me, well, there were a couple people, somebody recommended this Riley Sager book, which I actually already have on Audible. There were only like 3 recommendations out of like 100. Like 100 people commented like within the first 2 hours. There's probably only 3 recommendations that I hadn't read the book. Like 4 or 5 people recommended Listen to the Lie, which I read like a year ago. Over a year ago. The Housemaid. I mean, people were recommending books to me that I had already read, and so I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I want a good thriller to listen to, blah, 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 whatever. I'm trying to get through a couple books, you know, while we're down here at Audible. And so, first of all, Broken Country, I think some people would love it. Somebody commented on the vlog and said, I think it was on the vlog, they commented, and said they would have given it like a 3.5, but they ended up giving it a 4.25 because of the ending. I was not surprised by the ending. I saw it coming, to some degree. I saw it coming. It's really a book about what extent would you go to for love. I don't know, to me, I'm going to do a reaction to it, but to me, I was going to maybe do that today, but to me, it's really how do you define love, and like your question, I don't know, like, Anyway, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I did not love it. I gave it 4 stars because I thought it was beautifully ended. I thought it was tied up really well. The characters you get to know really well, stuff like that. I totally understand. Tanya loved it. We were talking about it. I said, girl, what is it about this book? She's like, oh my God, I love that book. You get to know the characters so well. You did get to know the characters really well. I didn't care about the characters, you know? So then I started the wedding people. I started it today. I'm only like 40 minutes in. It is so good, you guys. It was totally like what I was looking for in this vacation. So it's about this woman, and she and her husband are like going through like a divorce. It hasn't really, I'm in the part right now where they're kind of talking about like how she has like this, she realizes, I don't really want to ruin it for anybody. But anyway, so this woman that ends up at this hotel in like the Hamptons, and it's called like the Cornwall or something like that. And all the people are there for this wedding, and she's not. I mean, I'm only like 40 minutes in, so I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But I will say the trigger warning. Her reason for going there is to like end it all. I just want to say that trigger warning. I have a feeling that's not what happens, but so that's the purpose. But the book is very funny. It reads very funny. And she's very sarcastic and very cynical. But like she runs into the bride like right away in the elevator. This whole situation happens, and she's like, the bride's like, why are you here if you're not part of the wedding? Like she's like, because I'm here to. She's like, no, you can't, because this is my wedding. She's like, you're gonna ruin my wedding. I mean, it's just like this woman's life is just like falling apart. Anyway, I'm loving the book already. I'm absolutely loving The Wedding People. So it's supposed to be about the relationship she forms with the bride. So, and she has like pretty strong opinions about marriage, like going into it. There's like the 3rd chapter or something that's all about like her relationship, and she's like a professor and her husband, and how she's treated as a woman in academia and things like that. It's an interesting book. I really like it. The ratings are unbelievable. I think I read them the other day on here, but on Goodreads, it's like 4.2 or something like that out of 5, which is really high. And it has over like 400,000 ratings. That is really, really high. I think the last time I've seen a rating like that is like John Green, The Fault in Our Stars. Like Bookstone, and it's been on the bestseller list on Audible forever. So anyway, okay, well I'm getting hungry for my sandwich. I'm gonna get off now, and I'm gonna render this and then get this uploaded. And again, thank you guys. I need to do a thumbnail, don't I? Hold on. I really appreciate you guys hanging out for the vacation vlogs, having so much fun. I feel very relaxed. It's been another perfect day today. And for all you guys that are keeping up with us on vacation, and for those of you out there that are leaving comments, thank you. For those of you out there that are not leaving comments, I appreciate you watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope you guys are having I didn't do all that. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday and a fantastic weekend. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. Happy birthday, Lena. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.